Welcome to the Phil Taylor Jones Show. This special edition comes to you by way of Liz Mason, one of our loyal friends and supporters of the show, and personally. She suggested that we do this, and Liz, this one is for you. I'm Phil Taylor Jones, your host, and let's jump into this special show right now. You know, we really are in dire need of a leader. We can tell that for the last soon-to-be 8 years, this country has taken one negative turn, one after another. We need to have a strong leader, one that can get us back to where we really need to be and further beyond that point. Well, since the summer, the field has narrowed on both ends of the ticket. Let's talk about the Democratic side of the ticket. Well, we know we have slithery Clinton, who we really don't need anywhere in this country, let alone the White House. And then there's independent Bernie together Sanders. He claims to be independent, but where he really shoots himself in the foot with me is he clings to old bastard. I don't want anybody that clings to old bastard in any form or fashion being anywhere near the White House. We've had enough of that guy. We need someone that is far and clear away from anything that guy has ever done to this country, because he's never really done anything for it, that's for sure. So that leaves the Republicans. There are only 5 of them now. We're no longer having to worry about going back in the bushes. There are 5. There is Donald Trump. There is Ben Carson. There is John Kasich. There is Ted Cruz. And there is Marco Rubio. Okay, Cruz and Rubio, for my estimation, are out. John Kasich, for some reason that guy scares me. Ben Carson, love the guy. Think he'd really do a good job in public service to this country. Donald Trump, love the guy. Think he'd do a stellar job for this country. Now, since Donald J. Trump is the leader so far and has been so since the onset of this campaign, let's look at Donald John Trump. First of all, the guy is not a career politician. Number one, why I like him. Secondly, he's beholden to no one. He's funding his own campaign with his own money. He's not worried about super PACs or snuzzling up to some Koch brothers or others that may have lots of money with a tagged agenda attached. He's a businessman and a successful one. Yeah, people throw up the fact that he's had 4 bankruptcies, but it wasn't him personally, it was a business sort of thing. And that's, as he says, and as is truth, put in place by the federal government to help people. He is well known. There isn't a corner of this globe that people don't know Donald Trump. He has built up an empire by which he has given hundreds of thousands of people jobs. He knows how to create things. Is he perfect? No, not by a long shot. In fact, I think Donald would be the first to say, I'm not perfect. I don't profess to know everything, but I can put my hands on those that know the things that I need them to know to take care of the things I need to have taken care of. His devotion levels, I don't think anyone can impugn those. In fact, he said publicly, if I should be elected your president, that will be my main, in fact, no, he didn't say that. He said that will be my only focus. I correct myself. I stand corrected. That will be my only focus is to make the country a wonderful place to be once again. My empire, my family can run that. My kids can run that. I'm going to be your president. I want to make this country great again. His exact words. He wants to make the country great again. He wants to build up the military that is so torn down. We're flying old aircraft. Do you realize we're still flying B-52s? Those things were back a little bit before I was born. They're even having really troublesome times finding parts for that aircraft. But yet, Bastard and John Scary and Slithery Clinton, when she was secretary, made these sleazy deals with Iran to give them the latest and greatest aircraft built. We should have those. We should be flying them in bulk. Our military has been stripped. Donald Trump wants to bring it back. Jobs. And he's good at creating them. He wants to get those back here. Building up our infrastructure. It's crumbling. Our airport system is so archaic that pilots are scared to fly in here. Our train system, archaic. Shipping lines, the routes by which you traverse the oceans. On our side of the ticket, archaic. Structures falling down. And one of the main things that Donald wants to do is something about this terrible problem that we have with the open door, letting any and everything in this country. He wants to do something about that. Now, there are a lot of people that are against him. Well, thank goodness not everybody, because look at what the guy's doing in polls. Look at what he's doing at the caucuses. Look at what he's doing at the primaries. And no, it's not just people from the land of no shoes and no teeth. These are educated, well-learned, well-spoken American patriots. Because Donald appeals to a wide variety of people, except those who want to tear him down. We have to elect a president, ladies and gentlemen. It's inevitable. We want to make sure we elect the right one. Now, you might say, well, Phil, why are you so, why are you beating on the tom-toms for Donald Trump? Okay, I'll tell you why. The guy is not a career politician, which makes me want to follow him job one. Ben Carson is not a career politician. Look at what career politicians have done for us over, say, the past 40 years. What have they been good for? Developing a $20 trillion debt, letting everybody west of Beijing, China come in here and infiltrate our country and dilute it, try to destroy Americana from within, snuzzling up to foreigners on one end and letting them steal our birthright on the other, take all of our jobs away or send them away because you're so greedy, raising taxes on businesses, mistreat our veterans. Most of them are on the streets, hungry, cold, hurting. Let me tell you something about Donald Trump. A few Republican presidential debates ago, he was trying to, they were trying to put him in a trick bag with that sleazoid Megyn, what is her name? Megyn Kelly. Yeah. Donald said, I don't want to have anything to do with this. It's a waste of my time. Well, what did he do? Did he go and do the millionaire's sulk and go into his palatial mansion and just say, I'm not going to be bothered with that? No. He took his time. He took his money and he put on a program for whom? Veterans. Our veterans, our precious people that have fought for our freedoms and fought for the Constitution of this land. he raised big time money, $6 million or so for various charitable funds with the focus on veterans. Was that time wasted? No, it was time well spent. He has done more for our veterans in that one event that he held than most politicians have done in the lifetime of their service to the public. Does not that say something about the man? He has saved, I can recall one or two incidences actually, where he has saved human life. One in which he donated his own plane. One in which he paid top dollar to one of the best hospitals in the country, Johns Hopkins, to make sure that these people, one of which was a child, maintain their life. I don't think there's a candidate running who can touch him on that except Ben Carson, who is a renowned surgeon. First in his field in many medical operations. Donald Trump is a good man. Like I said, he's not a perfect man. But I think he's good for what we need in this country. We need somebody to be in there, not to pussyfoot around, not to tickle ears, and certainly not to be politically correct. We need somebody to get in there and make the tough call against insurmountable odds for the betterment of this country. Oh, well, they like Donald Trump because he feeds on fear. He's a fearmonger. He's a hater. He's a racist. He's a person that doesn't take crap. He's a person that doesn't get in there and play footsie under the table with the other political muckety mucks. He's what has been needed in this country for one hell of a long time. He provides a fresh air of getting things done. You don't sit around and make $12, $13 billion by twiddling your thumbs. You make it by getting out there and making the tough call. You make it by getting out there and doing what you need to do to make what you need to have happen progress. Eminent domain? Yes, he's, been a party to that. And look at the jobs created because of that eminent domain. Oh, well, he's not even doing this with the people on the job. And the black people, he doesn't like black people on the job. There are a lot of black people who beg to differ. There are a lot of people in general that would beg to differ. There are a lot of people from every walk of life that would beg to differ. The man has created jobs, not only here, but all over the world. He's a businessman. He's a business mogul. He knows how to get in there and get it done. And what is the United States? It's basically a business with a political overtone. So the reason I'd be more than happy to see this man become president is because he knows how to take care of business. To hell with politics. Where has that gotten us? It's gotten us into more strife, more stress, more claim. So I'm not looking for a politician. I'm looking for a businessman to get in there and change things around financially so that hopefully we can raise ourselves up again. He's the only one that can possibly do it. Who would you look to? Hillary Clinton? No. Bernie Sanders? Together? No. Would you look to Rubio and Cruz? No. Kasich? No. I'd like to see a Trump-Carson ticket for 2016. And let's see what happens. I feel that good things will happen. For once in maybe 50 years, this business of the United States will be run properly. And that's what we need, people. You may not want Donald Trump, but you certainly need him. You may not like Donald Trump, but let's just say, best case scenario, he gets in there and he automatically turns things around. Then you may begin to love Donald Trump. When you can put a few more pork chops on your table, when you can fill up your car a little better, when you don't have to worry about losing your home, when there is a job for you to go to, and if you don't like that job, you can stop that job and start another one with ease. When Social Security recipients don't have to worry about trying to mix dog food in with their regular food to make ends meet, maybe you'll thank the Trump man. When our veterans get top-notch care and be indoors, warm, safe, and as healthy as they can be to the extent possible, maybe you'll think Donald Trump is the right man or was the right man for the job. When we get our citizens off the bloody streets, and again, in housing where they're safe, warm, and comfortable, which is a human right, yeah, maybe Donald Trump was the right guy for the job. When our military is so strong that nothing crosses our borders or nothing messes with us. When our healthcare system is so technologically advanced that we're fighting these dreaded diseases and curing them. Maybe you'll think Trump man is the right man for the job. When you start seeing our cities being beautified because of the mass beautification system that Donald Trump wants to implement all over this country to improve and go beyond what our infrastructure is now, maybe you'll say, yeah, the Trump man was the right man for the job. He can build, and he wants to build. He needs to build. And we need somebody like that in the White House. Not somebody who's going to play footsie and mamby-pamby with places all over the world. He wants the other places in the world to toe the line. Get up off your knees and hustle. Don't expect the United States to carry your torch anymore. The guy says he wants to do something. I believe he wants to do something. Why? Because he has done something. I don't get the mentality of people today. This Governor Moonbeam that we have here in California, Jerry Brown. You know what this idiot is proposing? In fact, he's signing a law for illegal foreigners to be able to choose our next president. I think this guy's been smoking the crack. How in the hell can you, in your right mind, allow somebody that is here as an opportunist with their hand out saying, gimme, to vote for our next president of the United States? That is lunacy. Jerry Brown should be carted off in a straitjacket to the nearest mental institution they can find. We got work to do, ladies and gentlemen. Big time work. One, just on that last score that I talked about, right now, we need to get on the phones, get on the computers, get on the tablets, whatever way that you wish to communicate with these political muckety-mucks, and say no, hell no. No illegal foreigners. Nobody that isn't a citizen of this country should be able to vote. And if you allow that to go in, the next time comes around for you to be voted in, you won't be. We got to get tough with these bastards. We got to let them know that this is our country and we're retrieving it. We're taking it back. So you, as the officials that we elect to office, you dance by our music. No more of this get in there and I do what I want to do stuff. It's time to wake up. And the first way we can wake up is to send them a president who is not beholden to Wall Street, who is not beholden to the Koch brothers, who is not beholden to the special interest groups, who is not beholden to anybody but the citizens who put him in there. That man is Donald J. Trump. I like that. If I give you $300 or $400 million to put you in a selected position, I didn't give it to you for just general principle. There is no such thing as a free lunch, ladies and gentlemen. If I give you that kind of money, you best better believe I expect something from you. And if I don't get it, you get it. Donald didn't like that. He's not. To even show you how savvy this guy is, he hasn't spent a fraction of the money that he had earmarked for this campaign. Why? Because the old Donald knows how to work it. Why should I spend my money on publicity when every time you look around, you're talking about me? You've got me on television. You've got me on the internet. You've shoved a mic in my face. You got me in the tabloids. You got me in the periodicals. You got me in the newspapers. The guy is smart. Nobody can promote Donald Trump better than Donald Trump. Now, if you got all of that kind of savvy working for you on the outside of the political realm, put it in the political realm and see what he does. Watch it smoke. Have you forgotten whose country this is? I don't care how many foreigners they send over here, by whichever way they choose to send them, whether they want to call them refugees, or whether they just want to call them illegal aliens, or whether they want to call them whatever. It's still our damn country. So all you Americans out there, it's time to wake up and stand up. Like Bob Marley penned that song, Get Up, Stand Up for your rights. You were born here. So it's time to stop playing the violin for these foreigners. Because like I said, I don't worry about foreigners. I don't care about them one way or the other because they always land on their feet, just like cats. We'll let them land on their feet in their own damn country. This is our country, and we need to take it back. We need to put somebody in office who will facilitate that. We don't need career politicians to get in there and further the degradation of this nation. We need to put a non-political person in there who feels for people, who gets in touch with the people, who believes in the people that are doing most of the buying, the living, the dying in this country. We need to put Donald Trump in the office. He can get the job done. There's one thing I'd like to say to you, Donald. I love your immigration thing, but when you build your big wall, don't put a door in it. In fact, we need to put a lock on the borders. We got more than enough people here to get the job done. We got Americans on the streets, 20 million strong. A lot of them are veterans. We need to take care of ourselves first. These foreigners be damned. It's time American people start living the American dream. Because for most Americans, we're living a nightmare. And why? Because of idiot politicians who don't care about anything but getting into these various offices and stuffing their pockets with as much money as they possibly can before they leave. It's time to put an end to that. It's time for Donald Trump. This country needs him. As another renowned rock and roller, he penned a song, and that's Huey Lewis in the News. The song was The Heart of Rock and Roll. I'm going to change his language a little bit to fit this show. He said the heart of rock and roll is still beating. I say the heart of America is still beating. The poor country may be barely breathing, but the heart of the USA is still beating. And we need somebody like Donald Trump in there to make it beat even stronger. Because, it's on its last legs, but it's not dead yet. So as we go further into this political process with the primaries, Super Tuesday will be here next Tuesday. And then 2 weeks from that, there will be another Super Tuesday. We need to start thinking about where we want this country to go. Do you want to stick with the status quo, or do you want to put somebody in there that can make us have a bright, shiny new day? That can put a smile on our face once again. That can lift the morale of this country so high that you get a Charlie horse in your neck by looking up at it? Or do you want to stay with the status quo and keep the morale of this country where it is so low that it's got to reach up to touch bottom? What do you want? Do you want a nation that produces things again? I remember back when I was a kid, we produced everything from aircraft to Zwieback cookies. We had an automotive industry that was thriving. We had very few imports over here. You go out there today and look at the roads, you count 10 cars. Maybe 1 out of every 10 you count is an American car. Is that what you want? Do you want to constantly go out and see your neighbors hungry on the streets, our veterans on the streets? Is that what you want? Do you want to see our fellow Americans in Flint, Michigan, not to mention other cities, going without pure, clean drinking water? Do you want to see them with cancers, lesions, rashes, blindness, hair loss, memory loss, because of drinking poison water? And do you want to see a crooked-ass politician that caused that still in office, reaping the good benefits? Is that what you want? It's time that you woke up and stopped sniffing whatever it is you're sniffing. Oh, Donald Trump is this. Oh, Donald Trump is that. And what irks me most is that it's mostly coming from American citizens. Where is your patriotism? Where is your loyalty? You're going to talk against an American citizen who is trying to better this country for what? Some foreigners who couldn't give a damn less about it other than sticking their hands out saying, gimme? You better get your head right. Look at what's going on around you. Do you see progress? Or do you see a pitiful state? I see a pitiful state. I've seen a pitiful state for soon to be 8 years, and I don't want it anymore. I want to try something new. 8 years soon to be of democratic crap. And the one that wants to get in there is not only a crook, but she wants to continue, oh bastard's crap. I don't want that. We don't need it. We can't stand it anymore. It has hurt us almost to the point of no return. So I would urge you to put your support behind a winning team. And as I said before, I would love to see a Trump-Carson ticket for 2016. Once again, we want to thank our wonderful friend, Liz Mason, who was the inspiration for this project. She is a patriot. She's a true friend. She's a Trump supporter. Thank you, Liz. We hope we, did you proud. And before we close out the show, I wonder if the exec has a few words for us, because I need to take a water break.
Just as far as Trump goes, I pretty much mirror and echo everything you say. You know, I don't disagree with anything too much. I agree with that not having a door on the borders is already too full. We already have the people we need to get off the street that are Americans that deserve to have a better life over the foreigners for once. Put Americans first, which is what Trump is trying to do. And also to say thank you very much, Liz, for your steadfast kindness and support of us in the show. It's very much appreciated. And I'll send that bomb back to the star of the show.
Okay, that would be me. Anyway, yeah, we need a positive force for change in this country. I mean, everybody speaks change and all this kind of stuff, and it's ironic that we come up with the same garbage year after year, election after election. I want somebody in there that's going to shake things up. And if he has shaken things up thus far, just think of what he shake up when he gets in the White House. Maybe shake some of them cobwebs out of the hallowed halls of Congress and in the Senate and all of them places, because it can do with a good shaking, folks. So let's go for Trump in 2016. We thank you for watching the Phil Taylor Jones Show. Stay safe, stay happy, and take care. Bye-bye.